Good afternoon. This session is about the module of Grammar 2 for semester 2 students, and it is about coordinating conjunctions. The content of the sessions is as follows. First, parallel structure, and what we mean by parallel structure in relation to coordinating conjunctions. Punctuation in relation to parallel structure, punctuation for independent clauses connected with and but, and the last part deals with paired conjunctions. Now let's start with what we mean by parallel structure, because it is a very important point in relation to coordinating conjunctions. A conjunction is used to connect words or phrases that have the same grammatical function in a sentence. So the words or phrases that are related with a coordinating conjunction are in the sentence or have in the sentence the same function. This use of conjunctions is called parallel structure. So the idea of parallelism comes from the fact that the two words or the two phrases have the same function in the sentence. The conjunctions used in this pattern are and, but, or, and, nor. These words are called coordinating conjunctions. Let's look at this example. Steve and his friend are coming to dinner. As you can see, and here is used to connect two nouns, Steve, friend. Another example is Susan raised her hand and snapped her fingers. Again, and here connects two verbs, raised and snapped. Another example is he is waving his arm and shouting at us. As you can see, and here connects two verbs, but the difference between C and B is that the verb in B, as you can see here, the verb in B is made of one word, which means it is the main verb. So the two verbs are raised and snapped, two main verbs. In C, the difference is that the verb is made of an auxiliary and the main verb, waving. So because the auxiliary is repeated, then we can omit it. But this is still a parallel structure, because the original sentence is he is waving his arm and is shouting at us, but because the auxiliary is the same, then it is omitted. That's why you have here it's verb plus verb, and the second auxiliary may be omitted if it is the same as the first auxiliary. Now let's look at another example, but this time the connector or the coordinating conjunction is but. These shoes are old but comfortable. As you can see here, but connects two adjectives, old and comfortable. Again, two parallel structures. Look at the following example. He wants to watch TV or listen to some music. Again, the same thing, but or is connecting two infinitives. But the second, as you can see here, again, because we have to watch and to listen, in order to avoid a repetition, we omit two. Then we end up having he wants to watch TV or listen to some music instead of repeating the two of the infinitive. That's why we have here infinitive plus or plus infinitive, which makes it also a parallel structure, but omitting two. Now look at this exercise that will allow us to see how this, or what we mean exactly by parallel structure. Look at the instructions, underline all the words that are parallel with the given words. So as you can see here, in one set you will have the given word, like here it is to watch. Now what you need to do is decide or underline which words are parallel with that word. I'm going to show you all the words, and then we're going to see the answers. Normally I would say pause the video and then do the exercise and then see the answers. Now here we go. For the first one, to watch, the parallel structures are, it is infinitive with two, then we have to listen and to decide. For the second one, beautiful, is an adjective, then it is the parallel structures are friendly, nice, and honest. Here you should be careful, because when we say that parallel structure, we're referring not to the form, but we refer more to the function in the sentence, as we said earlier. Now, because beautiful is an adjective, then friendly is an adjective, then it sees parallel structure with it, nice and honest. You can see here that friendly, and you should keep this in mind, friendly in terms of form ends with ly in the same way as happily. But happily is an adverb of manner, but friendly is an adjective. Then friendly is parallel structure with beautiful, because it has the same function in the sentence more than any other word. The following one, for texting, we have chatting and sending. It is verb plus ing, then it is the same structure. Now concerning number 4, which is rapidly. Rapidly is an adverb. And if you look at the list, you will see that slowly is an adverb of manner as well, which means it has the same function as rapidly in the sentence. However, we have another one which is fast. It doesn't share the same form, but it has the same function in the sentence. It is also an adverb of manner. This means that we shouldn't be misled by the form of the words themselves, but we should be focusing on the function of the words in a sentence. Now let's look at another exercise. This time choose the correct completions. Now let's look at number 1. So I'm going to read, because usually again you need to stop this and then do the exercise, but let's do this together. Now, my roommate Kate is friendly, and now here we need to choose between kindly, kind, and kindness. Now the correct answer is kind, because friendly is an adjective, then we need an adjective kind. Now if we look at number 2, friendliness is a noun, then we need a noun, kindness, and hence the sentence, friendliness and kindness are admirable qualities in a roommate. For number 3, we are opposites. She likes to be busy and active, because we have busy as an adjective, then we need active, because it is also an adjective. For number 4, I'm a quieter type. I prefer to stay home or spend time with a few friends. Here this is a case of, to stay home, to spend time. So the same structure, but we omitted 2 because we don't want to have a repetition. Let's look at number 5. Kate studies by listening to music and singing at the same time. Again, we have listening to music and singing. Number 6, I sit at the library and, look at the verb here is sit, so we need the verb work. So I sit at the library and work in silence. For number 7, we get along well though we are both neat and, so look at this, we have neat, adjective, plus tidy, adjective. Now number 8, we take turns cleaning our apartment and doing the cooking. Again we have cleaning and doing, the same form, verb plus ing. Second part of parallel structure, which is punctuation and specifically using grammar. Using commas. Now, Steve and Joe are in class. Look at this example. We have Steve, a noun, and Joe, another noun, connected by and. But there is no comma in the sentence. Second example could be, or another example could be, or the same example could be written like this, but it is not correct. This is incorrect punctuation if you use the comma before and when you have 2 items connected by and. Hence, no commas are used when and connects 2 parts of a parallel structure, as in sentence E. The use of comma in this case is incorrect. Now let's look at another example. Steve, Joe, and Rita are in class. As you can see here, we don't have just two items connected by and, but we have Steve, Joe, Rita. We have three items. Now look at the comma. Here, now we can use the comma because we have more than two parallel structures. Look at the following example. Steve, Joe, Rita, and Kim are in class. Again, look at what we have here. We have a comma before or after the first item, after the second item, and then we have two items connected by and. Hence, when and connects three or more parts of a parallel structure, a comma is used between the first items in the series. Between the first items in the series. The first items. So you have Steve and Joe are the first items here. Here, because we have more than three, so Steve, Joe, and Rita, we have commas between them. But then we have and the fourth item. Now, concerning punctuation, let's look at punctuation, but now when we deal with independent clauses in connection or that are related or connected with and but. Let's look at the first example. It was raining hard. There was a strong wind. As you can see here, these are two independent clauses that are not related by or connected by any conjunction. So two independent clauses. Now, you should keep in mind that when we say independent clauses, we are talking about complete sentences, sentences that can stand alone, sentences that don't need another clause in order to have a complete idea. So two independent clauses. This is something that we should keep in mind, because when we talk about coordinating conjunctions, they are used between two independent clauses. A full stop, as you can see, not a comma, is used to separate two independent clauses. Now what we mean by this is, here when we don't have a conjunction between the two independent clauses, we use a full stop, not a comma, because if we use a comma, then it's not correct. Sometimes we use a semicolon instead of the full stop, but only if the two ideas, or it's between two closely related ideas, which means it is used, but not as often as a full stop between two independent clauses. Now let's look at this example in which the two independent clauses from the previous example are now connected with a coordinating conjunction and. It was raining hard and there was a strong wind. Now notice what we have here. So we have and before and we have a comma. Look at the following example. It was raining hard and there was a strong wind. Then notice what we have here in terms of punctuation. We have a full stop and we have the following sentence starting with the coordinating conjunction, of course, with a capital letter. The following example, it was raining hard and there was a strong wind. So what you notice here is that the whole sentence has no punctuation mark, and it is correct. Look at another example, but this time not with and, but with but. So what do we have here? It was late, but he didn't care. We have but between two independent clauses, but what we have here is a comma before but. Then another example, it was late, but he didn't care. What we have here is a full stop between the two independent clauses before the coordinating conjunction but, again starting, which means the second one starts with the conjunction and of course with a capital letter for but. So what we can say here is that and but are often used to connect two independent clauses. They are one of the mostly commonly used coordinating conjunctions to connect two independent clauses. Usually a comma immediately precedes the conjunction, as in A and D. This is what we said. We have a comma before the conjunction, as in a and the. So a comma before the conjunction. In informal writing, a writer might choose to begin a sentence with a conjunction, as in be and e. Here, as we said, we can have a full stop and then we begin the second one with the conjunction. The same thing here. In a very short sentence, a writer might choose to omit the comma in front of and, as in see. If you look here, we have no comma because it is a short sentence, and we can read it at once without any problem. By the way, in order to know whether we can use or we should use a comma or not, the comma is the equivalent of a pause when you are speaking. So if you can say the sentence, that's what is considered as a short sentence. If you can say it without struggling to breathe, then it is considered a short sentence. Look at sentence C. It was raining hard and there was a strong wind. So here, there is no problem. You can say it, you can use it without punctuation. That's why we have here in a very short sentence. However, omitting the comma in front of but is rare. That's why if you look at the examples with but, we don't have one in which we don't have the comma, because it's very rare to find in a very short sentence the comma, or the comma is omitted when we have but as a coordinating conjunction. Now let's move to the another part of the lesson in which we have paired conjunctions. Now, paired conjunctions, as you can see from the titles, or sorry, from the title, these are conjunctions that are made of two words, which means they go in pairs. Look at what we have here. We have both and, we have not only, but also we have either or, and we have neither nor. These are called paired conjunctions. They are also called correlative conjunctions. Now, let's see what we have about this. Look at the first example. Both my mother and my sister are here. Notice what we have here. We have two subjects connected by both and. Look at the verb. The verb is in the plural. Two subjects that are connected by both and take a plural verb. This is the first rule that we need to keep in mind concerning paired conjunctions. So when we have two subjects connected with both and, the verb should be in the plural. Let's look at another example. Not only my mother, but also my sister is here. Now, if you look at this, you will see that we have here mother, my mother, we have my sister, but the verb here is singular. Now let's look at another example. Not only my mother, but also my parents are here. So we have my mother and we have my parents, two subjects that are connected with not only but also, but the verb now is in the plural. Neither, another example is, neither my mother nor my sister is here. So what do we notice here again? We have the verb in the singular, because we have two subjects connected with neither nor, and the verb here is singular. Neither my sister nor my parents are here. Same thing again, my sister, my parents are connected with neither nor, and the verb is plural. When two subjects, so here is the rule. When two subjects are connected by not only but also, either or neither nor. You see the paired conjunctions that we have, except both and. We already said that with both and, the verb is plural. Now, when two subjects are connected by not only but also, either or, neither nor, the subject that is closer, this is very important, the subject that is closer to the verb determines whether the verb is singular or plural. Now let's look at these examples. The research project will take both time and money. Sue saw not only a fox in the woods, but also a bear. I will take either chemistry or physics next quarter. That book is neither interesting nor accurate. Now notice the parallel structure in the examples. The same grammatical form should follow each part of the paired conjunctions. If you look at this, look at the first sentence. The research project will take both time and money. Noun, noun. Sue saw not only a fox, a noun, but also a bear, a noun. I will take either chemistry, a noun, or physics, a noun. That book is neither interesting, an adjective, nor accurate, an adjective. That's why we said that the parallel structure in the examples should be noticed, and this is how we use paired conjunctions. They are also used between structures or forms that have the same form, the same grammatical form. As we said, so both in the examples is, or both and relate or connect two nouns, noun and noun, not only but also connect two nouns, either connect two nouns, and also neither is used with an adjective plus nor plus an adjective. Paired conjunctions are usually used for emphasis. They draw attention to both parts of the parallel structure. This is very important because the use of paired conjunctions is not just for addition or for grammatical function, but there is also, if we can say, a dramatic effect in which we attract the reader's attention or the listener's attention to both structures. Look at for example, let's go back. If we look at first example, the research project will take both time and money. If we compare this with a sentence in which we use just and, without the paired conjunction, the research project will take time and money. Here we just give information, we're just giving information, we're just giving information about what this research project will take. But when we say the research project will take both time and money, I want to give more importance to two words, time and money. Look at the second one. When we say she saw not only a fox but also a bear, then I want to emphasize both a fox and a bear. So that's why the use is not just grammatical but also for emphasis, and that's why we use paired conjunctions. Now let's look at how we can apply this in an exercise. Complete these sentences with the correct present tense form of the verb. Now look at the sentences, and for these four sentences, the verbs that we need to use is the verb know, and we need to see whether we can apply what we saw in this exercise. Now let's look at the first sentence. Neither the students nor the teacher. So what you have here is neither nor, connecting the students and the teacher. Now because the teacher is singular, we expect the verb to be singular. Hence, the answer is neither the students nor the teacher knows the answer. Remember that the verb or the form of the verb, whether it's singular or plural, agrees with the subject that is closer to the verb. Here the word teacher is singular, then the verb agrees with the word teacher. The second one, neither the teacher nor the students. Look at what we have here. The teacher is the first one, but here the students is the second one. So students is the one closer to the verb, hence we will have no, because the word students is plural, then the verb agrees with the plural. Number three, not only the students but also the teacher knows the answer. The same thing, the word teacher is singular, it is followed by a singular verb. And not only the teacher but also the students know the answer. Notice again that the students here is plural, hence the verb know agrees with the subject that is closer to it, not the one that we have at the beginning. Now let's look at more examples. Both the teacher and the students, remember what we said about both and. When we have this and they connect two subjects, the verb is always in the plural. Number six, neither Alan nor Carol wants to go skiing this weekend. Now here, again, Carol is singular, so we have wants. Number 7, either Jack or Alice has the information you need. What we have here again is Alice, then we have has. Number 8, neither my parents nor my brother agrees with my decision. Again, we have brother, singular, verb, agrees with the subject that is closer to it. Number 9, both intelligence and skill. Verb to be, essential to good teaching. Again, we have both and, so the verb should be in the plural. Both intelligence and skill are essential to good teaching. Number 10, neither my classmates nor my teacher. Now remember again that the word teacher is singular and it is the closer subject to the verb. Then we will have realizes. For number 11, not only Laura's husband but also her children. Look at what we have here. Children is the subject closest to the verb think. Then we should have think because it is children is plural, then the verb think is also plural, as we said before. Now let's look at another exercise in which we can apply what we discussed today. In this one, let's combine the following into sentences which contain parallel structure. Now use the paired conjunctions in parentheses. Look at number 1. Barbara is fluent in Chinese. She is also fluent in Japanese. What you see here are the examples of 2 independent clauses, but we need to make them into one sentence using coordinating conjunctions. And for the first one, we need to use not only but also. The answer is Barbara is fluent not only in Chinese, but also in Japanese. Not only in Chinese, but also in Japanese, the parallel structure. Second one, I'm sorry to say that Paul has no patience. He has no sensitivity to others. 2 independent clauses in which we have, or between which we have no coordinating conjunction. Let's use neither nor. I'm sorry to say that Paul has neither patience nor sensitivity to others. Neither patience nor sensitivity. Parallel structures. Noun, noun. Number 3, she can sing, she can dance. Now, if we want to use connect the 2 independent clauses using both and, we will have she can both sing and dance. She can both sing and dance. Both sing and dance. Now, if you look at number 4, if you want to change your class schedule, you should talk to your teacher or you should talk to your academic counselor. Now, we need to connect these 2 independent clauses with either or. The answer is, if you want to change your class schedule, you should talk to either your teacher or your academic counselor. Number 5, Diana is intelligent. She's very creative. So what we have here again are 2 independent clauses that are related with both and, that should be related with both and the answer is Diana is both intelligent and very creative, because what we have again, both intelligent and very creative, 2 adjectives. If we combine it using either or, we will have you may begin working either tomorrow or next week, either tomorrow or next week. Again, 2 adverbs of time that are related with the either or, again, parallel structures. Number 8, success in karate requires balance and skill, and success in karate requires concentration and mental alertness. Again, we connect the sentence with not only but also. Success in karate requires not only balance and skill, but also concentration and mental alertness, So look at what we have here. balance and skill, that's the first phrase. Concentration and mindfulness is the second phrase. So again, we have parallel structure. And in this way, we're done with the coordinating conjunctions. Thank you very much for your attention.